Hello, hello. Can you see me? Can I pin my video? Okay. Welcome one and all to our third Jewmos Pride Shabbat. Woohoo! Thumbs up if you can hear me. Yes? Good. So before we start, we have a little bit of housekeeping. Please be on mute while others are speaking. Please have your face displayed. Please be respectful to the event as you would be in real life. If you are contributing, please have your item prepared beforehand. Also, please have your name and your pronouns clearly displayed so we can easily find you when it's your turn to contribute. And raise your hand if you have a question. We have the amazing Toby all the way from Sydney to assist us tonight. And in fact, I can finally give Toby the credit for this incredible poster behind me, which Toby designed for me. So we'll be keeping things running smoothly, but if you have any questions or comments, feel free to share them and we'll get to them if we can. Welcome, dear friends. It's wonderful to see so many smiling faces here this evening for our Zoom Shabbat gathering. Shabbat is a day of rest and reflection, to take time out from the busy week to look after ourselves and those we care about, to focus on what's truly important in our lives. You've chosen to spend that precious time with us. Thank you. Tonight is a special Shabbat. We unite from the corners of the globe to share in this authentically Jewish space while exploring the intersection of our Jewish queer identities. As we follow each Shabbat ritual, guests have volunteered to offer a thought on what those rituals mean to them. This is a night of sharing stories, inclusivity, and engaging with our global mishpacha. You know, it took a long time for me to feel comfortable being gay in Jewish spaces and much longer to be Jewish in gay spaces. We have all been through our own journeys, some of them quite difficult. And nowadays, whenever I meet a member of our community, I try to offer unconditional love. So I will do that now. I see you. I see all of you. And I love you. You are worthy. You deserve happiness. You've been through hell and back, but you're here. You are a good person. You are a good person. You are a good person. It's now time for our opening round. I invite you to share your name, your pronouns, and your location in the chat box. You may also choose to put your pronouns in your Zoom name. Let me see if I can open up the chat. Toby, can you help Eleanor with some tech? So yeah, where are you from? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have, who do we have? We have guests all around the world. We have guests from America, from Canada, from Australia. We have Hannah. Welcome, welcome, Hannah. She, her pronouns from Wollombi, New South Wales in Australia. We have Ilana, she, her from Melbourne. We have Miriam, she, her from Toronto. Would anybody else like to welcome themselves to our Shabbat dinner? We have Ilana and Catherine from Sydney. Welcome, welcome. She, her pronouns. We have Toby, he, him pronouns from Sydney as well. Welcome, welcome. Keep sending them through. We have Ari, he, him pronouns from Melbourne. I want to give a special shout out to Ari because we were meant to have a face-to-face Jewmos Shabbat dinner, but due to new restrictions, we have made it over Zoom. So we are very happy to have you with us, Ari. And we have Anne and Stuart, my folks from Perth. And one Ilana says hello to the other Ilana. Great name, I agree. Let's get cracking. So hi, my name is Jared, or Gilad in Hebrew, he, him pronouns. I'm based in Melbourne, Australia, where it is 6 p.m. and I'm very happy to be here with you all. So I would like to start tonight with a quote from a book called Guapa by Salim Haddad. And it's a little bit intense, but I have a reason for it. Nightmares of marriage traumatized me. While I felt affection toward many women, I could never imagine myself with one. Whatever attraction I felt was due to the social acceptance that courting a woman might bring. I resigned myself to the inevitable prison sentence of marriage. I would marry and have children and live every night in fear, curled up in the far corner of the bed, anxious at the thought of touching my wife. I would be unhappy and alone, and any future children would be nothing more than a gift to mother for her years of hard work. Why do I mention this? Well, tonight my trinket is my tallis. Now, for those who don't know, I received this tallis at my bar mitzvah, the coming of age ceremony, when I was 13. And traditionally, we wear them when we become married. So, you know, there was a time in my life where I thought I would never be able to get married, even civilly. And that all changed in 2017 when same-sex marriage was legalized in Australia. And feel free to post in the chat box the year it was legalized in your country, or if it's still to be done. And, you know, I really do hope that one day I will, and all of us will be able to hold our partner's hands in front of our rabbis and whisper, I do. So I'm keeping my tallis close by with me. So I now invite you to share a trinket that you have brought. And please tell us what brings you here tonight and tell us about your trinket. So wave your hands in the air. Toby will find you. And please introduce yourself.
Us.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi. Jared, do I need to start looking for a new dress for the wedding or no, not yet?
I have to find someone first.
Okay. I have brought Jared and I made this when he was a very little boy. It's a cup for Eliyahu on Pesach. Don't look too closely at the handiwork. You're only very little. And you love pretty things, and we made our own our own Eliyahu cup, glass.
Thank you very much for sharing. I think Hannah put her hand up. Can we put Hannah off mute?
I think I'm here. Everybody okay? Can people hear me?
Welcome, welcome. Yes, we can hear you. How are
Excellent.
you?
Good, thank you. I don't have my trinket with me, because I'm in my car. I was a little bit late home. However, my trinket is my Star of David necklace, my Magen David. The reason I think it's important is that obviously in the Shoah, people were forced to wear them. Now we wear them with pride. Now we say who we are. We state who we are. We state who we are as Jews, as proud Jews, as well as proud queer people. And every time I wear that, I'm being proud of who I am. I'm being proud of my beliefs. And it makes me stronger for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chana. As usual, we are blessed to hear your wisdom. Would anybody else like to contribute? Share with us a trinket and maybe what brought you here tonight. Hi, Colin.
Oh, hello, you can hear me now. My trinket is a little bit different. It is a combination, something which is quite a favorite of mine. It is partly gay, it is partly Jewish, and it's full of love, and it is a movie. And I just want to share this with you. A lot of you will know it, and if you haven't seen it, it's one of the best movies to come out of Israel. So this is my trinket today. Oops, a bit glary. There we go. I can't hear responses from anyone, so I don't know if anyone is familiar with what I'm holding up.
Yeah, we can see it. I've seen
Okay.
Yossi Jagged. It's a beautiful movie.
Yeah, beautiful love story between two guys in Israel. Highly recommended. And that's tonight's trinket.
Thank you, Colin, for sharing. I think Renee put up her hand. Toby, can we find Renee and take her off mute?
Hola.
Hola.
Hola. Hola, hola.
Hola.
Well, this is it. I am an Anissa, which means from a second Spanish Jewess. I just moved to Wollongong, New South Wales from Melbourne. And this is something we wore proudly, but underneath, because we couldn't wear it. That was given to me by my beloved mother, my beloved Ima of blessed memory, and I can wear it proudly over my clothes.
That's so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing, Renee. Do we have maybe one or two more? Please put up your hand and Toby will find you. Welcome one and all to our Shabbat dinner. To put up your hands. Nope, we're all good. Okay. I will pin my video. I pin my video. Here we go. Okay. So thank you very much, everyone, for introducing yourselves. We are very lucky to have you all here with us tonight to share in this moment. So we are about to start the Shabbat rituals, but first, my good friend Ilior from Israel wanted to share a song to help welcome us into Shabbat. I believe, Toby, you have the video? Yes.
Hi everyone, my name is Elior, I'm 27 and I'm from Israel. I live in California now. I know I sound American, but I'm not. Just wanted to wish you guys Shabbat Shalom. I wish I could join y'all for the school event. As you can tell by how I look and how I sound, it's been a crazy night. My brother just got married, so I'm going to spend the whole weekend with my family here in Israel. Anyway, I chose this song by Rhine-Davis, who's one of our greatest greatest talents in Israel, and was the first Israeli singer to come out of the closet. This song is called Bo, which means come over, or let's do something. And he talks about moving from the shadow to the light, taking off all your masks, and at this point where you're done playing games, you're just embracing your true self and your new love, just letting love take over. It's a beautiful song. It was originally performed by Rita, who's like our national diva. But I think that and Ivry recorded a beautiful cover version like 20 years ago that also became the soundtrack of a movie about two male IDF soldiers falling in love. So I think when a gay singer sings the same words, they get like a whole new meaning and tell like a different story. So this song is very special to me. And the video that you're going to see is from the Israel Fellow training last summer, where I sang it. We had a session about LGBTQ life in Israel, so I sang this song to the other Israel Fellows. So yeah, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Hope to see you next time, and come visit me in the homeland or in Santa Cruz, California. Bye bye.
I think the end of the video seems to have cut out, but I can attest that it's a beautiful song if you have a chance to look it up. And as you can hear, Elior is an amazing musician. Thank you very much for being here with us tonight, Elior. Okay, Toby, please can you take yourself off screen share? Thank you. So let's get the show on the road. We will start our journey with candle lighting. The lighting of candles as sunset approaches on Friday is the traditional sign of the arrival of Shabbat. And I would like to invite Esther to speak about the concept of light and darkness and to light the candles for us. Esther, we invite you to our Shabbat dinner.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm going to speak about light and darkness very quickly, and then I'll light the Shabbat candles. On the first day, Hashem created light, and Hashem called the light day, and the darkness he called night. That is a literal explanation of light and dark. For me, a figurative explanation of light and dark is understanding and accepting people who have differences and live differently. Not accepting or understanding this is darkness. The LGBT community, especially in the Jewish religion, has somewhat been darkness for some community members, but of late it has been much lighter and much brighter, and this is how it should be. The South African religious boy who committed suicide in Israel because he felt that being gay was not accepted by his community, that to me is true darkness. And I appeal to everybody that this must not happen again. Bring on the light and let's accept everybody as they are. And now I'll light the candles for Shabbat. So I'm bringing on light by lighting the candles as well. And if everybody can say the bracha with me, that would be nice. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Kodesh.
Amen.
Amen.
And also, when you light the candles, you can wish for whatever you want. So do the wishing. Thank you, Jared.
Thank you, Esther, for your beautiful contribution. We are blessed to have you here with us tonight.
Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. For everybody, remember, if you're not contributing, please put yourself on mute. Thank you so much. Again, thank you, Esther, for everything you've contributed for us tonight. I would now like to invite, so we will now sing a hymn called Shalom Aleichem, about welcoming the stranger into our lives. I would like to invite Ruben Louis to speak a bit about welcoming the stranger and to sing Shalom Aleichem for us. Ruben, are you with us?
Ruben, where is Ruben? Ruben, mute.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you. Shalom Aleichem, or Salam Alaikum. These are the ways that we politely greet each other in Hebrew and Arabic. This is how I welcome all my angelic friends to join me for a Kabbalat Shabbat and dinner. You who respect me and all others for being our true selves. What truly are man or woman? Torah uses male and female, but the definition has been left to man, or is it woman, to decide. Let's put our differences aside and greet each other as the angelic friends we know, love, and respect. Enter for Shabbat, soon to begin. Tonight's Shalom Aleichem, I'm using a rendition written by the late Debbie Friedman. Unfortunately, she never got to record it before she passed. The usual last verse is asking the angels to depart in peace. Tonight, we're going to ask the angels to return to us in peace. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boechem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu Nil Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shuvdchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Thank you so much, Ruben. We are blessed to have you. Can you tell us what time it is where you are?
It is now 3:34 in the morning on this Friday.
That, honestly, that shows your commitment to being with us. And we, as I said, we are incredibly blessed to have you and your wisdom with us. Thank you.
My pleasure. I mean, to show commitment, I keep thinking of the first time I was ever in Israel and decided I wanted to call home, and 6 o'clock Chicago time in the evening was 2 o'clock in the morning. So
you're welcome to get some sleep now if you wish, or you can stay.
I'll stay to the end.
Okay.
It's always fun to hear what everybody has to produce.
So next, I would like to invite Anne, my mum, to speak about children and parents, and to say the children's prayer. Anne, my mum, welcome to our Shabbat dinner, our Shabbat gathering.
Hi everyone. Firstly, Jared, I hope you do know it's your dad's birthday today.
Well, I was gonna get
Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday to you.
He's having a great day. I've had amazing.
Jared.
So I know he's had a great day. He said, "Don't worry, he'll have one next year."
The big one
The
next
big one
year,
next
Jared.
year.
Big one.
Anyway, thank you for the opportunity, Jared. I've been asked to speak about children and parents, and I thought I would talk about the time that Jared came out. It's a very special time because you can't take it back. Jared's spoken on a lot of forums. Jared, you're looking worried. Jared's spoken on a lot of forums about his life, and I cry. And every time I hear him speak, I learn a little bit more about Jared. And I cry for the struggles he's been through, but I embrace and rejoice the amazing person he has become. And he's had a lot of opportunities to help people and to widen his abilities and meet fantastic people over the world. For example, today, this morning. Yeah, so as those who know Jared, you can imagine he was the most amazing, creative, gorgeous kid.
What happened? Sorry.
No. When he was 12, my mum, who was born in the 1920s, a very different era, but very wise and not at all, even though very conservative, not at all judgmental. Let me say that. Are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
His phone.
My speech.
She said to me, there's a sadness about Jared. And that was the time that Jared's spoken about that he was struggling with his Judaism and his sexuality. And she noticed like he'd lost that the way he would embrace life. There was a definite sadness about him. And at that time, he also came up to me and said, you know, I think I'm gay. Well, he was 12 years old. He hadn't been through puberty. And I remembered myself at that age thinking, well, I don't like the boys in my class, don't like the girl, like, what am I? You know, and it's I think it's a common thought. So I said, oh, wait till you go through puberty, because I knew if that was the case, that it would be a difficult road. And a few times during the next few years, I tentatively asked him, how's it going? I like girls, because, you know, it wasn't the time to come out to us because, you know, it's very, very difficult. Anyway, as it turned out, when he did come out, he didn't choose the timing. He kind of had to tell us at this particular time. And like many very important conversations parents have with children, it happened in the wee early hours of the morning, like maybe 1 or 2 in the morning. I'd been asleep. It wasn't a good time for him or for us really. It was wasn't planned and done at the best time. And my reaction, and I solely own it, I was worried about 2 things. Firstly, the boy we had was now going to have a different future. I worried at the time that, you know, he was so beautiful, but he may not be a dad. Now I realise if you want to be a dad, you can be a dad. It really, you know, it's up to you, Jared. But even greater, and this is the larger one, I was so worried about him having a difficult future, about him being ostracised, bullied, hurt. I could just imagine him, you know, at Northbridge, which is in Perth. This is our like nightclub area, one-hit punch, or, you know, I just was so worried about his future. And because also, remember, I came from a time when people were very homophobic.
It was illegal.
Yeah. I basically, and thank God for my mum who was not judgmental completely, you know, she was born in the 1920s. She completely embraced Jared. And Stuart was amazing. I basically cried for 2 days, but I knew all the time that in a few weeks' time, I'd be fine with it. I just knew I had to get over those 2 days. And that must have been very, very hard for you, Jared, that period. But really, it was mainly I was worried, and I wanted you want your children to have an easy life. Now I am so happy he is who he is. This is, you know, I can't imagine any other Jared. We are so proud of everything you do. And I hope all of you, when you came out to your families, or, you know, I hope you've all got great relationships with your families and your friends, because what I say to my sons, we have 2 sons, that this is your journey in life. This is your life. You live it the way it's true for you. Don't worry about your parents, your family, your friends, your community. It's your journey. And be kind and respectful to others, but most importantly, be kind and respectful to yourselves. And I wish you all happy, amazing lives, because you know you deserve it. You're all special. And like Jared says, you all deserve it. I hear you as well. Thank you.
Thank you. That was the most incredible.
Sorry. Go on.
That was the most incredible word of wisdom. Would you like to say the children's prayer?
Yes, sorry, I forgot about that. Okay. For boys, may you be like Ephraim and Manasseh. For girls, may you be like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. May God bless you and protect you. May God show you favor and be gracious to you. May God show you kindness and grant you peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Mum. And I would like to extend this prayer to our guests tonight who don't identify on the gender binary as well. So next, I would like to invite Gabe, a good friend of mine from the States, to share a thought on what Shabbat means to him as a Jewish gay man. Gabe is unable to join us tonight, but he very kindly sent in a video. Over to you, Gabe. We seem to be missing some sound.
Hello everyone, my name is Gabriel. I'm here in
Hello.
Miami and it's going to be 4 a.m. during the time of the event, so I'm going to be sleeping. Jared was kind enough to invite me to participate via video. And I thought I'd share with you guys one of my favorite excerpts from Abraham Joshua Heschel's book, The Sabbath. He says, Judaism teaches us to be attached to holiness and time, to be attached to sacred events, to learn how to consecrate sanctuaries.
I'm sorry, it seems a little bit quiet. We might skip.
The Sabbath.
You sure?
Are great cathedrals.
Yeah, he's a little bit too quiet. I can't really hear him. Is there a way to make his audio a little bit louder?
It's into the max.
To the max? Okay. We'll save Gabe's beautiful message for our...
I was worried about this.
Okay. Toby, unshare your screen and we'll save his beautiful video for our next Pride Shabbat. Thank you. Okay, so for those of you who know Gabe or who have heard him speak before, he is an incredible, inspirational person, and we hope to hear you at our next Pride Shabbat. Thank you very much, Gabe. So traditionally, our next hymn is the song Eshet Chayil. Written by King Solomon, it is intended as a tribute to the wisdom and hard work of Jewish women, also known as Wonder Woman. So when I think of Wonder Woman, I think of Hannah. Hannah is one of the most inspirational people I've ever met. She has been through a really incredible journey, and I would like to invite Hannah to speak about her identity as a Wonder Woman and to sing a song that relates to her journey. Please, Hannah.
Hello, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Number one, I would say I'm humbled, but like the great Golda Meir said, I was never that great to start with. But thank you for your kind words, Jared. My journey, I guess, has been a place to find a place of belonging, coming home. Everybody needs a home. Everybody needs a refuge. And when I was born in the wrong body, and when I was growing up in the wrong body, I felt lost. I felt homeless. I felt like I was in the Grand Central Railway Station in Washington, D.C., which is huge, and I didn't know what train to get on, and I didn't know where I'd end up, and I didn't know what I'd be doing. And when I found that train, even when I knew my journey was just beginning, it was of immense comfort to me. Now, the song I would like to sing for you tonight, to tie in with that notion of coming home, of being strong, of weathering the storm when all the winds and the rains and the hassles of life go around you, takes me to a place that I miss very greatly in my heart. And that, of course, is all of our homes. It's Yerushalayim. I truly wish I could be back there now. But like we say every year at Pesach, L'shana haba Yerushalayim. Maybe next year we'll all be home. So, apologies for the awful lighting. I'll do my best to sing. And here we go. אבי הרים צלול כיין, וריח אורנים. נישא ברוח הבאים עם כל פעמונים. ובתרמת אילן והבן, שוביה בחלומה. העיר אשר ברד יושבת, ובליבה חומה. ירושלים של זהב, ושל נחושת ושל אור, הלא לכל שירייך אני כינור. האזנו אל בורות המים, לשוק ולכיכר, שופר קורא בהבית, בעיר העתיקה. ובמערות אשר בסלע, אלפי שמשות זורחות. נשוב נרד ים המלח בדרך יריחו. ירושלים של זהב, ושל נחושת ושל אור, הלא לכל שירייך אני כינור. אך בורם הלום לשיר לך, ולך לשוק תרים. קטונתי את צמיר בנייך, ומאחרום המשוררים. כי שמך צורף את השפתיים, כנשיקה זרף. ימש קשך ירושלים, אשר כולה זהב. ירושלים של זהב, ושל נחושת ושל אור, הלא לכל שירייך אני כינור. ירושלים של זהב, ושל נחושת ושל אור, הלא לכל שירייך אני כינור. Everyone, welcome home.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Khan. Your music is beautiful, and we're blessed to have you with us here tonight.
Toda.
It is now time to hear a message about this week's Parsha. So these Bible portions often unlock wisdom and values that we can carry with us in our daily lives. I would like to invite Kevin to offer a thought on this week's Parsha. Sorry, Hannah, can you put yourself on mute? Is that okay?
Oh, my apologies. Absolutely.
Thank you very much. I would now like to invite Kevin to speak about this week's Parsha and how it relates to him as a Jewish gay person. Over to you, Kevin. He wasn't able to join us tonight, so we have an audio file from him. Toby, how are we going?
It can be really difficult to unfold.
I can't go back to the beginning just like that. It's got to play all the way through and then restart.
Can you go out of the link and go back in?
It's in Messenger.
Yeah. Can you try refreshing the page?
No, it's actually in the app. It's not. You can't. So just restart. Give me a second.
Okay. So as we have a few technical difficulties, I would again like to thank everyone for being here with us tonight. I know for Kevin, he is in a place with limited Wi-Fi, and so he wanted to use his internet. He actually used a lot of his internet to send through a video. And that's actually, sorry, an audio. And that's why he couldn't do a video, because just the audio used up a lot of his internet. But he really wanted to take part in our event tonight. And we are beyond humbled to have you with us.
Ready.
Okay, over to you, Kevin.
Hello, everyone. I'm really happy to be here with you today and do this Devar Torah. It's the Devar Torah of, it's a double portion, first of all. And we have here quite a few list of events that, frankly, can be really difficult to unfold. First of all, we have the purification of the Levi with the red cow. We have also the story with the rock, with the Israelite and Moses hitting it. We have also the messenger sends the king of Edom so they can pass through the land, so they can go on with the journey through the wilderness. We have also the passing of the garments from Aaron to his son Eleazar. And we have finally all the episode with Balaam, the donkey, and the court. So there's a lot in here. One thing we are talking a lot in this parasha is the outcome. What will happen if I do this or I do that? What will happen? For instance, I would say that the red cow is more something that you can leave something behind, so you can go back to your life. And as for the episode of the rock, the passing of the garment in Balaam, we're not only talking about the outcome, but the consequences. The consequences of your action, the consequences of what you can learn from those actions. These can be really hard consequences and everything. If we flip it another way, we can say that all of these stories are talking about different ways to experience our life, different ways to understand what's happening to us. As for the donkey and the episode with the rock, I would suggest that we could talk about minority group. Some people don't have a strong voice and need to be heard, but sometimes you just have to listen. In all of our community, I think we have to acknowledge that, to acknowledge that we have a strong power to listen. I hope for this week and the future week ahead, you are exchanging with someone you would never intended in a million years to talk to. Maybe they can learn from us and you can learn from them. And maybe change the outcome of some unusual situation. As a proud convert and disabled, living with cerebral palsy gay man, I would say to you, Shabbat Shalom, and thank God you're not here with me, because now I'm so excited that I'm drooling.
Kevin said to me that he hoped his message would make everyone smile, and I think we can all agree that his words of wisdom and his humor have touched all of our hearts. So thank you very much, Kevin. So next we will make Kiddush. The Kiddush marks Shabbat as a sacred time, which we do by reciting Vishamru before making a blessing over wine or grape juice and taking a sip. So make sure you have your cup filled and ready to go. I now invite Andrei to recite Vishamru, ending with the drinking of wine. Over to you, Andrei.
Thank you, Jared. So I wanna just first of all say Kol HaKavod, and Yeshua Kochicha for you and all this community for building this really rainbow global connection. Like here in Brazil, it is 5 a.m. So like, sorry for my voice, sorry for everything. Like, I just woke up right now, so my voice is not going to do that yet, but that's it. So Kolakavod for everybody to be here. It is so great and it's just beautiful. So let's start. So the first thing it is Vishamru. So let's do that. So Vishamru v'nei Israel et Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ובני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. For now, the Kiddush. So, let's do that. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen, amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher קידשנו במצוותיו ורצבנו, בשבת קודשו באהבה ורצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשת וראשית. כי הוא יום תחילה ומקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש שבת, amen. And that's it. Thank you everybody. Toda Rabba and Yeshua Kochicha again for Jared for this gathering. And good morning from Brazil. That's it.
That was incredible. Thank you so much, Andre, for waking up early for us. And for those who don't know, a few weeks ago, Andre delivered an incredible Devar Torah about the week's Parsha. He is very intelligent and very, very blessed to have you with us. Thank you. So next we have a beautiful video sent in by Miriam about a thought on Judaism. She wasn't sure if she'd be awake for the event. She is actually here with us. So maybe first we'll play your video and then I'll invite you to take yourself off mute to say a quick hello. Does that sound okay? Toby, please can you play Miriam's video? I think we're missing some sound. Okay, Toby, can you take Miriam off mute? Is that okay?
Hi.
Hi, I think we're having some tech difficulties with your video. So in the meantime, I just wanted to say a quick hello. Are you
Hi.
awake?
Yes, I'm still awake, barely.
I know that your video took a bit of time to edit. I wanted to thank you for putting it together. So while we're getting the video prepped up and ready to go, I just wanted to officially welcome you to our Shabbat dinner, our Shabbat gathering tonight or this morning. And I've watched the video myself. It is so beautifully done, and I'm so excited to share it with everyone. I think Toby is just rewinding to the beginning as we speak and making sure the volume is okay. Yep. And we are very lucky to have you with us. So thank you so much, and fingers crossed the video plays.
Thanks. And I'm blessed to be with you guys too.
Toby, I think it's still on mute. Do we have sound?
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
Shabbat Shalom. I am proud to be back for my third Pride Shabbat with Jewmos. I'm pre-recording this due to the 14-hour time difference. It's going to be 4 a.m. in Toronto, well, 6 p.m. in Melbourne. So I'm playing a piece called Eufen Privatschik, and the reason why I am playing it is because I'd like to share one of the stanzas and tie it into the prayer I'm about to share. And for some background, it's about a rabbi teaching his students the Aleph Bet, and the key stanza goes, when we grow older children, you will understand how many tears lie in these letters and how much lament. And my prayer is that we will understand and continue to understand and reflect and remember all the tears and lament that have gone into creating the LGBTQ plus community and movement and rights and liberties and freedoms we now have as of 2020. And I want to extend that prayer to include Jewish LGBTQ plus individuals within the community, and I hope that we will all one day be recognized as equal members of the community, and that love will be love regardless of the L or the G or the B or the T or the Q or the plus that we stand for in that acronym. And I am glad to be able to share that with you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the song. Thanks.
Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. My name is Tomer Bach.
Spoilers. Too many spoilers. Toby, can you please take yourself off share? Yep, perfect. I just wanted to say I heard the video directly from the file that Miriam sent me, and playing it over Zoom does not give it justice. Miriam is an incredible violinist, and I think we can all say we're very lucky to have heard that, and your words of wisdom as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is customary to wash our hands before the meal. At the basin, we pour water 3 times on the right and 3 times on the left. Then we remain silent until we have eaten a piece of bread called challah. I invite Stuart, my dad, to speak about the concept of silence and what that means to him, and then to complete the washing ritual. Over to you, Dad. Hello,
can you hear me?
Yes,
Cool.
we can hear you. Over to you.
All right. Jared, do you want me to actually make the bracha for washing hands here in front of everyone, or what? Do you want me to do it?
It's okay. If you say what you've prepared, then I'm happy to do the prayer.
I can do it. That's fine. I gotta keep. Don't be. Mum's being silly.
You got that at work.
My students gave me maybe a surprise party today, so this is important. Silence. Okay. How should we use silence? Silence is very important because all our lives we're surrounded by noise, and when we actually come to wash our hands and so the bracha, we sit in silence, waiting for everyone to finish, and so we can make the hamotzi. Silence is also a very powerful emotion because it also makes us self-reflective about where our moments are in our lives and leads to, I suppose, a thought about grieving in this sort of way. You go, when you're silent, you actually are contemplative and you go to a space where it's only you and you're intrinsically within yourself and thinking about what you believe and what you're feeling. And grieving, if we can link to that, is also very intrinsic, very, very self and very, very personal. Grieving is huge in Judaism. There's a whole halacha on grieving. I've been a member of the Chevra for over 5 years now, and I've dealt with a lot of grieving personally as well. In fact, only this week, my auntie, our beautiful auntie Rita in London, passed away a couple of nights ago after a very, very long illness. She was amazingly brave, beautiful, gorgeous, lovely lady. Jared and Anne got to meet her in 2012. And I'm dealing with that as well as everything else at the moment. So the whole halacha about grieving, you have the ritual of tahara, you have the whole burial process with the Hevra, the Lavoya, and then you go into the Shiva. And Judaism is amazing. It's absolutely amazing how it helps the mourner, the Aveda, deal with the Shiva process. And actually, you're never on your own. You've always got support. People come to do things for you, to help you through this moment of the lowest point in your life. And it's just incredible how wonderful our religion is in that way. This leads me to another thought where there is a grieving process as well. When a gay child can come up to their parents and the parents react as if there's been a death in the family, where they actually disavow that child at all and say, no, you're dead to me. There have been cases, as we know, when parents rent their garments and sit shiva for their child, not only in coming out, but in past and years gone by, when they marry out, they actually completely disassociate themselves from their child. And this is huge. It's absolutely huge. So when this happens, the child is left in this limbo, and the parents will actually say Kaddish for that child that's come out or married out. And it's socially and emotionally horrific, incredibly traumatic for the child going through, or the person coming out to their family. And that to me is unacceptable. I'm sorry. It is. I can't think of being a parent myself, to disavow your child, to disown your child. it is the furthest thing from my mind. And our mind, when Jared came out, I just hugged him. You know, it was, there was no way I was going to disavow him or disown him. But this has happened. And also when that happens and those children grow up disowned by their families and they pass away, there's no one to say Kaddish for them. The family don't know that they've passed away physically. There's no way that they actually can connect, and their family won't say Kaddish. And as we know, we've been saying Kaddish, you elevate the soul. And the more you say Kaddish, the higher it goes up through the layers of heaven. And you elevate the soul by saying Kaddish and remembering. And that, to do that for your child is really, really harmful and bad. And I suppose it's also harming yourself as well. And so there's been many gay people throughout history who have passed away, and no one has said Kaddish for them. No one says Kaddish for them. And that to me is what I want us to think about today. The silence leads to contemplation, which leads to remembering those who have gone, who have been either forced out or abandoned by their families, and not remembered. And we need to remember all of those people. And that is my thought about silence and remembrance this evening.
Thank you very much.
Now, Jared, do you want to make the Al Natilas Yadayim?
I just want to say thank you so much for your incredible words. I feel personally touched by what you said, particularly for your current context. It's your birthday. You are also grieving this week. And thank you for committing to being here tonight. You didn't have to be here, but you wanted to be here. And we're all very blessed to have you.
Thanks, Jared.
I would like to extend your words to our gay brothers and sisters, our lesbian brothers and sisters, our trans, non-binary, gender diverse, all of our siblings across the spectrum who, as you say, no one ever had the chance to say Kaddish for. I now invite you to say the hand washing prayer.
Yeah. So,
the thing that parents must always remember is never, ever, ever give up on your children, no matter what. You never, ever give up on your children.
So, hand washing. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al natilas yadayim.
Amen. Thank you, Dad.
Thank you, Jared. Jared, just one thing. I've got to be at shul in half an hour. We're singing tonight for choir, so I may have to leave in like 5 or 10 minutes. Okay?
That's okay. We're reaching the end of our time together. But first, the last piece of our Shabbat gathering is the Challah prayer. So I now invite Tomer, all the way from Israel, to speak about what Judaism means to him and to recite the Challah prayer.
Hello, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. My name is Tomer Barash. I am from Israel. I work for the Aguda, which is the Israeli Association for LGBTQ Equality in Israel, like National Task Force for the LGBTQ community. I know I was supposed to join your Shabbat, but I couldn't join because I'm at work at the theater here, so I'm right now at the dressing room. Yeah, I work with Jared on an upcoming project that we have called Pride in the Living Room. He may tell you all about it. And so sorry to join your Shabbat, but I just wanted to join you to wish you from here Shabbat Shalom, and say that here, and especially for me, Shabbat is an interesting day. It's an interesting time in Israel because everything sort of semi-closes or calms down. There's a very, very specific atmosphere, which is very connected to the Israeli identity and nationality and the feeling and the atmosphere. And it's something that also, just like my LGBTQ identity, isn't something that is, anybody can take away, or it's always in me or always felt in me. And, once these two things are very much felt inside, in your heart, it's very hard to, these two things are very much felt inside. In your heart, it's very hard to ignore them. It's very hard to disconnect them from you or from your identity. And it's two things that sort of led me to where I am today in working with these two issues, getting to know and expanding also my Jewish and Israeli identity, but also my LGBTQ identity. And it took some time to understand, that it's part of you. So, yeah, that's what Shabbat is about for me, and what usually makes me think, just because of the special atmosphere here. So I just wanted to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom and a happy Pride Month, and say Baruch אתה Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat Shalom to you all. Sorry that I'm not with a yarmulke, you'll have to excuse me. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you very much, Tomer, for your beautiful words. Tomer is actually...
And I'm from Israel. I live in California now. I know I sound American, but I'm not.
I think we have a video playing. Thank you very much, Tomer. So for those who don't know, Tomer is actually an actor, and he took some time out from his rehearsals this morning in Israel to quickly send over this video. So we thank Tomer for taking the time to share his wisdom with us. So we have now reached the end of an incredible Shabbat together. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here with us. For some of us, it may be our first Shabbat experience or our first in a long time. And I invite you to check in to let us know how you're feeling. If you have any quick thoughts on what this experience has meant to you, then please wave your hand and Toby can take you off mute. No? Okay. So we're now nearing the end of our time together, but before we say goodbye, I invite you to delve a little deeper with us. So tonight is a night of sharing and learning and reflection. And at the end of every Pride Shabbat we have, I want to ask a discussion question, something for you to think about either now or at your own Shabbat dinner tables or as you go through the week. So I ask you, what do you take for granted? What do you take for granted? I invite you to put your hands in the air, and Toby can take you off mute to share your thoughts. What do you take for granted?
Hola.
Yes. Hola.
I think what I take for granted is that I am accepted as I am. And I just realized that's now, not 5-10 years ago, certainly not in Spain, certainly in Melbourne and now in Wollongong, no problem here. It's to be taking for granted that we can be ourselves. We don't need to hide anymore. We are accepted as we are.
Thank you, Renee. That's a beautiful message. Thank you. Would anybody else like to share a thought on something they take for granted?
Hi. I think we take for granted, can you hear me? I think we can take for granted the fact that we get up every morning and we go to work and we, you know, we're really, really good and healthy until something bad happens and you realize, wow, how lucky we are to be able to do things and be healthy and have a loving family around us as well. We just go about our daily lives, you know, doing things that we do and things are fantastic. And then bang, something happens and you get really sick and you can't do those things that you used to be able to do. And that to me can be quite confronting. As you know, well, I was ill for quite some time and wasn't been able to do things that I wanted to do and realized how amazingly lucky I was when I was able to do them. And I'm fine now. But yeah, that's a real eye opener when suddenly you can't do things that you normally could do and get up and have energy to go and do what you want to do, or drive a car or go visit friends, or and be happy and eat things you want to eat, you know. So your health, I think, when things are great, are fantastic, but then when things go wrong, that's when you realize that how lucky we all are to be healthy and happy and have the families that we do.
Thank you, Dad, for your beautiful words. Do we have one final thought on our discussion question tonight before we say goodbye?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes. For me, what I treasure and what I realize is fleeting is contact, not only within myself, but with other people and families and communities, and being able to depend upon people. And this afternoon, it came into quite relief when there was a blackout in our suburb of Riverview in Sydney. And I thought, well, perhaps there's some times in which you just can't communicate and you lose that social contact. You're in isolation, for example. So for me, it would be the idea of continuity of conduct and contact as my Kaddish for this evening.
Thank you very much, Simon. And I think this is the third Jewmos Pride Shabbat in a row you've joined us on, and we are blessed to have you with us again tonight. Thank you. So we will now say goodbye to this moment and continue our Shabbat experiences in our own homes. Thank you for spending this time with us, and I hope you can bring a piece of this experience, a feeling or a friend, into your own lives. I invite everyone to take themselves off mute and to give a huge Shabbat Shalom or good Shabbos to each other. Can we take everyone off mute, Toby?
Yes. We're all unmuted. Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, everybody.
I've got to go.
Thank you, everybody.
Good Shabbos, good Shabbos, good Shabbos.
Guten Shabbos.
Until next time.
Yes, and thank you, Jared, to invite me. Thank you.
Thank you, Jared, for including us. We love you.
Lahitra.
Good Shabbos, Miriam. Good Shabbos, Renee. Good Shabbos, Simon. Good Shabbos, Mom and Dad.
Thanks so much, Jared, for being everyone. Shabbos.
Good Shabbos, Alana.
Adios.
Adios. Sí. Ciao. Ciao.
Yes.
Hasta luego.
Are we on the restaurant? Can you ring Jared and tell him what time you pick him up?
Okay, I'm going to end the call. Good Shabbos, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
See you, Jared. Bye.
See you.